Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MRCG football field. It is the opening chapter of the Nisa 24th edition. A challenge for Gtsc, but it's so tough. Well, that is just a way to introduce this championship, to be precise. This the National Interdepartmental Sports Association, the football tournament for the year 2025, the 24th edition, and the opener is between Grts, the state TV, and of course Gambia Transport Service Company, that is a Gtsc, here at the MRCG football field. Well, it's going to be another journey of a tourney, another marathon, to be precise. We apologize to all the viewers out there. Well, many were waiting for this to start. Many were yearning for this to start, but things fall apart. But then here we are at the MRCG football field. Do President and Co, that is of course Mr. Sekubi Jaju, who played a pivotal role in this opener. Well, he's president of the National Interdepartmental Association, that is Nisa, to be precise, Mr. Sekubi Jaju. You have G and the team on the far side. It is proudly and officially sponsored by the Gambia Tourism Board. They are the main sponsors in this year's championship. Well, a winner in this competition will represent the Gambia in Senegal in the national championship or the international championship. That is regional, to be precise. Well, it is LSTV here, and they're always there for the audience out there. And Parliament Fati will take us through the commentary. Pafadis, over to you.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jalo. Hello, good morning, and wherever you might be getting our voices and signals, of course, you're most welcome. And this morning, from the MRC football field, of course, in Bakau, it is the Nisa opening fixture between GTSC and Gambia Radio and Television Service. GTSC currently dressed in white and yellow shirts and yellow socks, currently playing from our left to right from our commentary cabin, whilst Gambia Radio and Television Services dressed in their colorful white shirts, red shorts and red socks. Grts is playing from our right to left from our commentary cabin, and at the commentary desk is Parliament Fati, Saliu Jalo, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. It is the opening fixture of course of Nisa, National Interdepartmental Sports Association, and it is Grts up against GTSA. GTSA, the home side, is currently starting with Babukar Low in goal, but before that we will surely have that full concentration on this set piece coming from Gambia Radio and Television Services, and it is Sidou Sane to deliver. Sidou floats that ball forward this time, never troubled the goalkeeper. Gambia or GTSC starting with Babukar Low in goal, Esa Jany, Suleiman Manga, Ibrahima Jaju, Salim Drame. Mohamed Cisse is the captain. That was definitely very close for GTSC to find the back of the net. Unfortunately failed in the process, and Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS, survived. Salim Drame, Mohamed Cisse, team captain, Sambu Toure, Sekou Manga, Ibrahima Konta, Babukar Toure and Dembo Manjang completing the 11 for GTSC, and GTSC is having Ibrahima Sarr as head coach. Lamin Sane, Lamin Baro, Musa Jame and Seydou York are his assistants, and GRTS, that is Gambia Radio and Television Services, starting with Lamin Sow in goal, Mohamed Dumbuya, Ismaila Cisse, Modlamin Sane, Laurent Gomez Aliou Jammeh, Jane Dong Yusufa Job, Amadou Kante, Talibo Jiba team captain and Sidou Sane, completing the 11 for Gambia Radio and Television Services. And Gambia Radio and Television Services is having Ben Bass as head coach, and Ben is having the assistance of Musa Sane. It is already a lively contest from the MRC football field in Bakau in the first game between Gtsc and Gambia Radio and Television Services, and it is currently 0-0. Salih, interesting game, interesting fixtures. I think the tournament itself is definitely needs to, that commendation. Of course, these are the people that are currently in the workforce, and then putting these officials together on a special day is definitely commendable. I think we have to give that very big tap on the shoulders of the organizing committee of the Nisa Championship. I think putting these officials together is something not difficult. Something not easy, but I think they were able to put these officials together in coming here to take part in this football competition. They've been taking part in athletics competition, also football, and this time around I think we have to give that very big tap on the organizing committee of Nisa.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right, because like all work no play make Jack a dull boy, and this championship have already grown feathers and wings. Imagine this is the 24th edition, and it is always alive and well, and anytime we knocked at their doors, they are always there. That is these institutions, private sectors and public sectors as well. Well, the private and the public sectors, to be precise, they're always there because they know the importance of this tournament, and selling your image not only in the Smiling Coast but outside, meeting with other African countries outside there. Gamtel have passed through this, MRCG have passed through this, they were beneficiaries, and imagine, in the coming months or years or this year, we will be heading back to Dakar again to have this regional championship once again, and then from there Algeria is also in waiting. We have to be in Algeria representing the country, and there it's not like MRC is playing or GRS is playing, or of course GTS is playing, but then it's Gambia that is playing, because if you're going there, you're going with the Gambian flag in this championship. And Senegal's tournament is already alive and well, it is already on, and we are also, wow, that is a bicycle kick. They're selling experience to the state TV boys. Well, leaving the camera behind and the mic behind together with the pen, having a 90 minutes to discuss matters with, of course, the Gambia Transport Services. Will they transport GRTs in this game remains the $1 million question. But then I don't know after the final game whether GRTs will be putting their camera to interview a team that defeated them. So what will be the question and what will be the response remains the $1 million question. But then all said and done, the importance is to unify the institutions, bring them under one umbrella, and there is already connection. We get to know each other through this beautiful game of football. Well, futsal is on its route. Volleyball, basketball also is on its route, coming, it's looming. But you talk about football, when we say like the beautiful game of football is alive and well in this championship, and they were very much eager and ready to be part of this championship. Many thanks to the president, that is Sekubi Jaju, and the entire team. Uncle will take us through the history of this championship as well.
Thank you very much, Salih Ujalo, and back to the live commentary, of course, from the MRC football field in Bakau, and the ground is currently hosting this great clash between GTSC and Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS, in the opening game of the Nisa Football Championship. Of course, it is the 24th edition of the championship, and the game is live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin. Parliament Fati, Salih Ujalo, Usman Kamara behind camera operations, and that was definitely a timely clearance coming from Mudlamin Sane. And interestingly, Salih Ujalo, I have seen the name of Famara on the bench, but at the field here, Farmer is nowhere to be found.
It's Farmer the Sam Johnson of SO United is the $1 million question. They might have communicated to Farmer, and Farmer might give them the go ahead, put my name there, because early on he was very much eager. I saw his comment on your wall, that is Facebook wall, that he will be here to be in action. Well, he's one of the tallest strikers that Jares have ever produced when it comes to football, to be precise. But then you look at their bench, it's only a man that is pouring himself water. That is DJ Precise always, Amare also Manjaga programs. But then, it's just important. It's just important. You look at this. This is all fun fair here at the MRC football field. But then, the winner, we know what is at stake. If you are a champion in this championship, you are not going to celebrate at home, but you are also going to celebrate it away from home. So it's very important, and the opener is always very good.
Thank you very much, Salih. And later on, we will get the reaction of our very own uncle who is already. He will surely take us through as far as this Nisa championship is concerned. Not a decent delivery coming from Gambia radio and television services. It is now the turn of Gtsc to deliver that ball. This time it's the custodian and the goalkeeper is Bubakar Low. Bubakar playing that ball short on the far side, caught out by Gambia radio and television services, and already the central referee has already given the advantage to Gtsc and Gambia radio and television services. Mod Lamin with a timely clearance, and on the far side it's a goal kick to Gtsc. Gtsc is currently dressed in white and yellow, whilst Gambia radio and television services GRTS dressed in red and white. GRTS playing from our right to left, while Gtsc playing from our left to right. It's a clearance, not a great one. Sidou Sane had the final touch, and it's a throw in for Gtsc in the very first minutes of this lively game from the MRC football field in Bakau. Mod Lamin to Sidou Sane. Sidou lost possession. It is Gtsc now on a clearance coming from central defender into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Lamin Sow for GRTS. Lamin Sow is the goalkeeper. An arm throw, trying to connect the jump of the team captain Talibo Jiba. Gtsc regained possession. Back to the central defender. Having it tough against the center forwards for Gambia radio and television service. Gtsc once again trying to enjoy possession at the MRC football field, and it is already lively game between these two institutions. Gambia radio and television services and Gambia Transport Services Corporation, and it is currently a corner on the far side. Gtsc will now have the opportunity to benefit. Solely, Uncle, we will surely give you the mic to get us through as far as the history of this Nisa championship is concerned. It used to be athletics, and this time around we have seen football alongside.
Thank you very much, my brother. What's the name again?
Parliament Fati.
Parliament Fati. Oh, it's just the surname. You would have been Parliament Sar. Thank you very much, Parliament. As you rightly said, my also friend and brother Salou Jallo. Thank you very much. Nisa is here. It started 20 years ago or 22 years ago when we were named National Interdepartmental Football Association. It was somebody who definitely gave us that idea, and that is Nisa, the late Uncle George Gomez, who said, you are dealing with sports. Why can't you say National Interdepartmental Sports Association, including other sports? So we deem it wise and say, wow, this man is right through his experience. So last year you have the runners up, the winners who were MRCG. They were the winners. And then this time also they are playing, and then thank God that they offer us, to use their grounds. Grounds was definitely our problem. For this year, it was very, very tough for us to have a ground due to this. Our matches used to be played in the morning, and then in the morning you always have these academic teams that are playing. So definitely it was very tough for us. Up to day before yesterday, that was the time when they approved our letter to, inform us to be using this ground. Thank you very much that the match have started, the tournament have started, and then definitely it paid dividend. So this is Nisa, and then we want to bring everybody together. This is not international, not national, but amateur. People that are just sitting down without doing anything. Healthiness is very good. We don't want to see big bellies. We don't want to see some people relaxing or suffering from other diseases like high blood and the like other diseases. This is why we deem it wise to organize such a tournament. You've seen it. We're playing only 35. So far so good. This is what I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and back to the live commentary. It has been an interesting 4 minutes in this contest between Gambia Radio and Television Services and GTSC in the first game of the Nisa Championship, and it is the 24th edition, currently live from the MRC football field, and it is live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin. Parliament Party Saliu Jallo, and of course our very own uncle this time around. Strike comes in, coming from the number 7 for GTSC, Dembo Manjang, and Dembo's effort sailed over the crossbar. Saliu Jallo, interesting 4 minutes at the MRC football field, lively, and we have seen great potentials coming from, of course, this working class. These are the people that are almost every day at work, but given the opportunity this morning to showcase what they can really do. I think this is definitely commendable from the organizing committee of the National Interdepartmental Sports Association, alias Nisa.
Absolutely, absolutely important. Well, coming into this game, like you look at the way GTSC were warming up, like the way they touch the ball, like you will be like, this were ex-ballers, but then they have been in this game very well. But then we played 15 minutes in the first half, and it's still goalless. Well, you look at the number of players that are with GRTS, you might see them as the underdogs in this encounter or in this opener, but they have stood firm. You know, they have pushed, of course, GTSC to the wire in the first 15 minutes. Can they contain them in the entirety of the game? Remain the big question. You know, the energy needs to be there, and the readiness as well, closing the gaps, connecting the dots as well.
Thank you very much. It's a chance for GTSC, cleared partly by Gambia Radio and Television Services. Dembo, the ball is still in play. GTSC around the right side of the attack, trying to launch an opportunity. Caught out by Gambia Radio and Television Services, not for too long. GTSC regained possession. Dembo trying to keep that ball in play on the far side. Dembo nicely done. Caught out once again, coming from Gambia Radio and Television Services. And it is already a lively game. Great atmosphere. Great atmosphere. Of course, it is a great atmosphere from the MRC football field in Bakau in the Nisa Interdepartmental or National Interdepartmental Sports Association Football Championship, of course, the 24th edition. And of course, for the very first time, live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin, Parliament Party Saliu Jallo. Of course, the game is live on both Facebook and YouTube. If you want to watch the game, just have a click of the button this time around. A strong header. Of course, that was very close for the opening goal. Unfortunately, GTSC never capitalized, and Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS, survived once again, Saliu.
Yes, and they survived once again, as you mentioned. It is more of like a kind of one-way traffic, but then it is the opposite right now. And Sidu has been very much instrumental, the number 19, Sidu. The player for GRS, likewise ML, his boss. You know, like earlier on, I had the one of the defenders saying, "I like the energy." So simply means that sometimes you have to walk your socks off if you're playing against GTSC. But then, you know, will they continue surviving this kind of set pieces? Is the $1 million question. But for now, GTSC are the favorites in this game.
Of course, yes, they are currently having the better possessive display, and also chances being crafted in this contest went in favor to the boys in white and yellow. GTSC, Gambia Radio and Television Services. The flag of the assistant referee stayed down. Clearance from GTSC coming from the central defender Esa Jan, and GTSC in this contest is starting with Bubakar Low in goal, Esa Jan, Suleiman Manga, Ibrahima Jaju, Salim Jame, Mohamed Sise is the team captain, Sambu Toure, Sekou Manga, Ibrahima Konta, Bubakar Toure, and Dembo Manjang is the starting 11. And of course, on the substitute bench for GTSC is Madi Danjo, Mustafa Drame, Bubakar Gassama, Pa Ibu Sane, Yankuba Baro, Yaya Jaju, Ibrahim Assar completing the list of players. And of course, the team is under the guidance of Ibrahim Assar as head coach. Lamin Sane, Lamin Baro, Musa Jame, and Sedu York, of course, are his assistants. Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS, is starting with Lamin Sow in goal, Mohamed Dumbuya, Ismaila Sise, Mod Lamin Sane, Lamin Gomez, Ibrahima Jam, Aliou Jame, Jendong Yusufa Job, Amadou Kante, Talibo Jiba, of course, is the team captain. Sidou Sane completing the 11, and we already having Kepsin Mbub, who is the only player on the bench, and we have Famara Baji, who is nowhere to be seen but already on the match form, and Mustafa Diba and Ali Bayo for Gambia Radio and Television Services. And it is still 0-0 from the MRC football field in the game between GTSC and GRTS.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a foul given to GRTS. The number 13 is the beneficiary. That is, of course, The number 13 for Grts. He was brought to the ground. Sends a long one inside the half of Gtsc. Return ball there. And a very good towering header there by Talibo Chiba. Strikes the number 19. That is Sidu. Trying to test waters. That was Sidu Sane, the number 19 for Grts. And this is the number 3, S.I. Jan for Gtsc. A good interception there by Mohammed Sise, team captain, and Gtsc on a counter. A very good defensive work there by Grts. The state TV strike, deflection there. It is a corner given instead of a handball. Well, the players of Gtsc were shouting, calling on, trying to convince the center referee, that is Lamin Balo, but it proved futile. It's a corner instead of a penalty given. And the first or the second for Gtsc, it's going to be an in-swinger. Cross comes in, header, wow! A free header from Dembo Manchang, proved futile. It went side netting. Started from the back. The number 13, Mohamed Dumbuya, with Gtsc strike. A good block again. Well, the number 6 is found wanting. That is Jiandong. After having a touch on the face of one of the players of Gtsc with his hand, well, according to the center referee, the hand went out illegally, and that is a foul given. Mune gisut ko. The funniest part of it, munge complain si koju mune gisuma ko koju mune waxuma la. Wow. It's 22 minutes played and it is still goalless here at the MRCG football field. This is just the opener of the National Interdepartmental Sports Association. That is the football tournament, the 24th edition. So simply means that the mission is alive and well. From the 1st to the 24th, heroes come and go, players come and go, but the competition stays. And the championship is always alive and well under the chairmanship of the presidency of the ever reliable Mr. Sekobi Jajo. The only problem is the surname. Jajo could have been Jalo, but then things fall apart. But it's a set piece for Gtsc. 3-man wall from Grts. Strikes! Wow! Over the bar. The goalkeeper barres to the ground. He's on an intern. That is the shortstopper of Grts. A reporter as well. Well, being an intern at Grts is sometime being an intern here as well between the sticks. Probably the game today might give him the pen to paper to sign. And Grts will tell you we'll never want to lose it. A very good defensive work there by Sidu Sane. And Grts wins the battle with the team captain, the number 14, spread it wide. That is Talibo Jiba. Talibo Yusufa, the number 7 on the far side. Or Yus is being removed out of the ball. And it's ML again. Back to Yusufa. Cross comes in into the gloves of the ever reliable Babu Carlo, the short stopper for Gtsc. Gambia Transport Services Company, or transportation you may call it. A long ball there, but the number 4 is just the number 4. Well, the number 4 was found wanting there. Well, the substitute of Grts is on his bed. Pavati is on his bed. If Os can help us there. That is the substitute of Grts who is currently on his bed. Football is cruel. Probably he will tell you, I don't deserve to be here. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not one of you. Might be the statement from the substitute right now. That is Captain Boop. Well, viewers, that is Captain Boop for you. The famous Captain Boop on GRTS. Well, this is not about Mbala or Manjago music or so on and so forth. This is about 90 minutes contest here. It is still goalless here. We played 25 in this game. Well, we're playing 35. You know that the energy is not that much. A chance for GTSC, number 5 strikes! Lonely outside the area. But the strike was too much. That could have been a thunderbolt of a strike. But it went wide. And that was Sekou Manga. But Sekou Manga vented anger on that ball. That is Sekou again. Sensalonga looking for his number 10. Chess there! Wow! What an opener! That is the number 10. It's just a beautiful chess there. And that is of course Ibrahima Koita. In the 26th minute, GDSC have break the deadlock here. They have been knocking the doors of GRTS, the state TV, to open their doors. They were reluctant for the first 24 minutes, even in the 25th minute. But a minute added on that, the 26th, they conceded. And even the camera operator is now a spectator. GRTS are trailing by a goal to nil.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo. Of course, it's a deserved advantage to GTSC, and Ibrahima Konta broke the deadlock, and Ibrahima's goal is the current difference between GTSC and Gambia Radio and Television Services. Saliu Jallo, it has been a one-sided affair right from the beginning. GTSC has been on top of this game, creating chances and also trying to possess the ball so well. And in most of these cases, we have seen Gambia Radio and Television Services struggling to get the ball in the D or in the area of GTSC. And then GTSC had the lion's share of the possession and also the number of chances being crafted or created since the commencement of this game. So seeing them having the advantage is definitely something that is a deserved advantage. Boys in white and yellow, GTSC currently leading Gambia Radio and Television Services by a goal to nil in the opening game of Nisa, or National Interdepartmental Sports Association's football fixture. It's another opportunity, and it's greatly blocked in there by Gambia Radio and Television Services. Konta once again, the goal scorer, trying to unlock the defense. Clearance partly done by Gambia Radio and Television Services. Will they be able to hold on? Is definitely the biggest question against GTSC. And another strike this time around coming from Mohamed Cisse, the team captain, and Cisse's effort sailed over the crossbar. It's currently GTSC 1, Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS nil, in the opening game of the Nisa Football Championship, the 2025 edition. Of course, this is the 24th edition of the championship, and the first game between GRTS and GTSC. GTSC leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of centre forward and number 10 Ibrahima Konta. Ibrahima broke the deadlock to give the advantage. That was timely saved by the custodian for Gambia Radio and Television Services, and GTSC now calling in for a penalty. And this time around, the central referee not the least interested, and the central referee is Lamin Balo, having the assistance of Lamin Samate. Sanakoli and Landing Sambu is of course serving as the fourth assistant referee. On the far side there is a player down injured, and injured for GTSC, having the assistance of the goalkeeper for Gambia Radio and Television Services, Lamin Sow. GTSC is still complaining, and GTSC believe that should have been a penalty, but anyway the central referee waved in for a play on. The central referee has already waved in for a play on, and it's a play on, and the goalkeeper into the gloves of the custodian, Gambia Radio and Television Services. Uncle, back to you. I think we have seen majority of the minutes here at the MRC football field in the game between Gtsc and Gambia Radio and Television Services. Already there is a goal, and then this time is an advantage to the boys in white and yellow. Gtsc, who broke the deadlock to have the 1-0 advantage against Gambia Radio and Television Services.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I have seen the reason why GTSC we are stressing and then emphasizing for us to play instead of 30 minutes. They said let us play 35. They are definitely having the ball position, and then they are playing very, very, very nice. In fact, this could have been, look at it. It was just a near miss for GTSC. We've played about at least 32 or 33 minutes gone. Still 1-2 GTSC and 0-2 the nation's television, that is Gambia Radio and Television Services. Notwithstanding, as I was just telling you, our Senegalese counterparts or Senegalese neighbors have already started their tournament, which tell us that definitely if the tournament here is ended, theirs also will be ended, whereby our people will go and represent the Gambia there for the at least inter-regional championship. Goal, you see, that was also another near miss for GTSC. You see, playing progress. Yes, the number 7 for GTSC is still having the ball. Oh. No, it's not yet a goal. The referee said it's not yet a goal. It touches the crossbar, but not yet a goal. Not yet a goal. The referee has shown a yellow card to the captain, number 4.
Thank you very much. That was another strike coming from GTSC. And GTSC believe that should have been the second goal, but the central referee has already dashed out. A yellow to the number 10 and the goal scorer Ibrahim Akonta. And the flag of the assistant referee on the far side is currently down. And the current score is GTSC 1, Gambia Radio and Television Services 0. It is still protests coming from GTSC. And GTSC is still insisting that that should have been the second goal. Believe that should be the second goal. And the central referee stood his ground and insisted that that isn't a goal. The assistant referee also stood that that isn't a goal. It hasn't passed the cross line, or it hasn't passed the line. And the score remains GTSC 1, Gambia Radio and Television Services 0. Lively contest from the MRC football field in Bakau. Lively contest, great game. And already there's only a goal separating the two. There is only a goal separating the two in the Nisa opening game between GTSC and GRTS. GTSC 1, GRTS 0. Sidu Sane to deliver. Long and high one from the half of GRTS to the half of GTSC. Partly cleared around the center circle. GTSC will launch another attack on the far side. Caught out on the far side by GRTS. And in case you're just joining us, it is all coming to you live from the MRC football field in the National Interdepartmental Sports Association's opening fixture between GRTS and GTSC. GTSC currently leading by a goal to 0, and on the far side, the flag of the assistant referee is up against GTSC, and GRTS will now have the opportunity to deliver. And GRTS currently trailed by a goal to 0 against GTSC in the very first fixture. We will surely have another game to follow the GRTS GTSC game. Surely we will get to our uncle to get us the second fixture shortly. But before that, GTSC launch, GRTS with a clearance. GTSC enjoying this slender advantage, leading by a goal to 0, and they got the goal courtesy of Ibrahim Akonta. Ibrahim Akonta is currently on the number 10 for GTSC from the MRC football field. Of course, it is sunny morning in Bakau. Of course, a sunny morning in Bakau, and at the MRC football field, and this is the venue that is currently hosting the National Interdepartmental Sports Association's opening game of this year's championship. In short, give it the name Nisa, and it is the Nisa opening game between Gtsc and Grts. Grts trailed by a goal to nil, and Gisa having the advantage, or Gtsc having the advantage. It has been a lively contest. The lion's share of this game, possession, and also the chances being crafted went in favor, of course, in favor of GTSA. Salif Jallo, it has been a serious protest coming from GTSA, and they believe that attempts should have been given by the central referee who waved against that goal, and then most of their players and the technical bench protested, but the assistant referee, who was definitely at a great position during that period, I think, waved against GTSA, and the score is still 1-0 in favor of GTSA.
Well, absolutely, because I was also not far from the scene, and that wasn't a goal. But that is a very good goalkeeping there. But the ball kissed the crossbar and it bounced outside the goal line, and that's why it wasn't counted as a goal. But that was, of course, a relief session for GRTs. Hadn't been that ball hits the back of net, it's like they have to climb a mountain to overcome this tie. But it's already 35 minutes played here at the MRCG football field, and it's already 1 minute added on in this encounter. But probably GRTs will tell you we have dragged them to the wall, and you look at their bench and you look at their players, the readiness of them, and and still now the scoreline is 1-0. But then will they tell you Farmer Abaji are part of the players that cost them in this game? Probably Farmer Abaji and the team.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jalo. And I think the goalkeeper for GRTS has been the busiest right from the beginning. And it is half time from the MRC football field in Bakau. It's half time between GRTS and GTSC. And it is GTSC 1, GRTS 0. We will surely have few minutes of break, and we'll be back for the continuation of the live commentary in the Nisa opening fixture and the fixture between GRTS and GTSC. It is currently half time, and it is half time between GRTS and GTSC, and it is 1-0 in favor of GTSC. Salute Jalo is half time and advantage GTSC.
Wow.
Uncle G, aram am kef tama am la. Bana. Oz. Mun nañu mun nga zoomale bana wala non do mun na zoom. Waaw. Dina ko jël. Tur bi. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, once again we are at the MRC football field. We are live at the MRC football field and it's half time here between Gtsc and of course Grts. Gtsc are leading Grts by a goal to nil. And of course with me is Lamin Barrow, part of Gtsc. In this tournament we will try to also sell the image and the brand of institutions, to be precise, on what they do, their services, and of course products as well, or their products and services, to be precise. Lamin Barrow, part of Gtsc. Take us through your portfolio at Gtsc.
Yeah, I am the administrative officer of GTSC.
Take us through what does Gtsc does.
Yeah, GTSC, our mainly core function is transportation. We transport commuters from different regions of the country. Our head office is in Kanifing. We also have substations in Jarasoma, Farafenye, Esau, and Basse.
Yeah, take us through the journey and the struggles that you always face in this transportation sector.
Well, I think challenges are always there, and I think our main aim and goal is to provide comfortable, reasonable transportation services to our customers. And along the road we will also come across with many challenges, such as breakdowns that we will encounter on the route. And part of the challenges is the new system that we're trying to build in, which is the Thermo service, the digital ticketing, the sensitization and the understanding of the customers in how to utilize and then make use of the Thermo card that we are now trying to put in the market. So mainly these are some of the things, but then the main thing is to get the customer feedback and then work towards to provide a better transport service to our customers across the country and international as well.
Well, Mr. Barrow, just take us through the importance of this GTSC in this country in the quest of national development.
Well, I think that is huge. You're looking at, in fact, the workforce alone, GTSC has about an employee number of 700 plus, not just in the Gambia, but also in our neighboring country, where we also have some of our staff stationed in Senegal. So the employment rate, in fact, GTSC is also contributing in the national development of the country. So having that number turnover GTSC is also a huge contribution from GTSC and towards the country.
What is your message to your, of course, passengers out there, commuters out there?
Yeah, it's never easy riding with any transport service, but we are professional in whatever we do, and whatever customers' observations might be, our office are always open for their feedbacks, so that we can also work towards improving whatever observation or concerns they might have. So mainly these are our core key values that we also want to put in place, so that our customers will always understand that GTSC have that priority for their customers, and then whatever it might be, our main thing is to provide them with comfortable ride and then reasonable tariff as well.
Are you okay with this competition?
Yeah, the Nisa tournament, this is not our first time actually. I think last year was our best experience so far, where we went all the way to knockout stage. And this had today been our first game. So far so good. You can see the performance of the boys. They're eager to get the 3 points, not just the 3 points, but to give a very good performance, whereby all the opponents that we will be playing against would fear us in our upcoming games. So
thank you, Barrow.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you, Barrow. And from there we will have, of course, the secretary to the association, that is Nisa, Mr. G, commonly known. G, the championship have already started, the 24th edition. I know it was a rough journey, but we fight tooth and nail. We toil and moil to have this ground here, because all grounds are occupied. But then take us to the importance of this championship, Uncle G.
Thank you so much, Saliu. for giving me the opportunity to at least express some of the importance of this competition. Okay, this is the 24th edition of the National Interdepartmental Sports Association (Nisa), organizing such a tournament in the way of bringing the Gambian workers and workers, both the government and private sector, together in a form of sports, that is football, volleyball, handball. This initiative is is not only within the Gambia. It has now gone beyond the Gambia. That is, we have a memorandum of understanding with Senegal. Every year we interchange. We go to Senegal after our championship. We arrange some teams to go to Senegal
Regional competition?
Yes. So we also invite them to come over here. They also come to do such. You know, we continentally, at the continental level, we have both of Africa converging in a country to do sports, all in bringing all Africa together, yeah, in sport form. Yeah.
Does this association, that is Nisa the precise, achieve its targets in this championship?
Not yet. We for this year, yes, we have got our target was at least 16 institutions, but thank God we have 20 institutions participating to contest in this year's championship.
What is your message to the institutions that are participating in this championship, just in summary?
You know, so my message to them is like, let them all see it as we are all from the same family, and we are all winners when it comes to this championship. And we also cannot go without thanking all the managing directors who allow their institutions to come and participate. And also we are most grateful to Gambia Tourism Board. Those are the institutions so far that partnered with us. We were with them last year. They partnered with us. They support us financially, and this year also they have come to support us. So, but we are expecting more institutions to come in terms of partnership to support, to make sure this championship goes as we wanted it to go.
Thank you, Uncle G.
Thank you so much, Charlie. Thank you.
Graduation bi.
Wow, kii dina lañ ko def.
Léegi nga ko so.
Welcome back to the MRC football field in Bakau for the continuation of the live commentary, of course, in the final 35 minutes between GTSC and GRTS. It is just the commencement of the second half. GTSC still having their noses in front, leading by a goal to nil against GRTS, and the only goal scored in this contest came in the first period, courtesy of Ibrahim Konta, number 10 for GTSC. And of course it has been a lively and also another start to the great and lively second half in the Nisa Championship. Of course, match day one of the championship. GRTS up against GTSC. GTSC having the advantage. Konta with the only goal. GTSC dressed in white and yellow shirts. Yellow shorts and yellow socks. Playing from our right to left from our commentary cabin. Whilst GRTS dressed in white shirts, red shorts and red socks, now playing from our right to left or left to right. Now it is GTSC now on a clearance. This time it's beautifully done around the area. It seems to be a serious class, and the central referee of course was just there to hand the advantage, and his advantage GRTS, and the central referee is Lamin Balo, having the assistance of Lamin Samate. Sanakoli and Landing Sambu is serving as the fourth assistant referee in the lively and crucial match day one of the Nisia Championship between GTSC and GRTS. GRTS will solely try to get this game to parity as they currently trail by a goal to nil against the boys of GTSC, or should I call them the men of GTSC, around the center circle. GRTS trying to unlock the midfield of GTSC. Player Rasul, is that going to be a foul given by the central referee? And the referee is also very close to the scene as he has already waved for an infringement. It's a delivery for GRTS, who trail by a goal to nil. And GRTS will now have the opportunity through Mohamed Lamin Sane.
Yes.
ML Sane will now have the chance to deliver. Two-man wall assembled by GTSC. GRTS now launch that ball forward. It's another attack on the far side. GRTS on a defensive walk. Timely interception by the nation's broadcaster GRTS. And GTSC will use the right side to effect a throw-in on the far side. And the boys in yellow enjoying the advantage, leading by a goal to nil. Great back heel, trying to reconnect the advancing player. GTSC using the right side of the attack, floats that ball, caught out partly by GRTS. And it has been a lively contest. Great atmosphere, great and lively possessive display into the gloves of the goalkeeper Lamin Sow. And Lamin and his charges, or Lamin and his boys, are currently trailing by a goal to nil against the stubborn boys or men of GTSA. On the left side, GTSC playing that ball short, trying to reconnect the advancing player. It is still GTSC. Finally, GRTS blocks that ball to touch. And up next, the next fixture in the championship is Gambia Maritime Association taking on UN Gambia. Gambia Maritime Association, or administration rather, will be playing UN Gambia in the second game of the Nisa Championship. And before that, it is now Gambia Radio and Television Services against GTSA into the second period now. 1-0 is the current score. Sidou Sane, already the flag is up against Sane, who is currently leading. Sidou Sane is still protesting. Sidou Sane is still protesting that should have been given. Well, anyway, Sidou Sane is currently leading the line for GRTS, and GRTS trail by a goal to nil against GTS. Lion's share of possession, and also the chances being crafted went in their favor. GTSC, I mean. It is GRTS now trying to unlock the defense. Caught out by GTSC, of course, is an infringement. That's a foul on the central defender, number 3 for GTSC. And in this fixture, GTSC has started the fixture with Bubakar Low in goal, Esa Jan, Suleiman Manga, Ibrahima Jaju, Salim Drame, Mohamed Sise, Sambu Toure, Sekou Manga, Ibrahima Konta, Bubakar Toure, and Dembo Manjang completing the 11 for GTSC. And those on the substitute bench for GTSC is Madi Danjo, Mustafa Drame, Babukar Gassama, Pa Ibusane, Yankuba Baro, Yaya Jaju, and Ibrahim Assar completing the list of players for GTSC. And on the technical bench, of course, is Ibrahim Assar as head coach, Lamin Sane, Lamin Baro, Musa Jammeh, and Sidou York, all assistants to the head coach Lamin Sarr. It's another opportunity for GTSA. Spreads that ball forward on the far side. It's a clearance partly done by GRTS. Another strong header into the gloves of the custodian. The goalkeeper to the rescue of GRTS. It is Jane now, trying to switch the play from the right to the center. Another opportunity. Sidou Sane will chase. Sidou having it tough against the central defender, and the defender for GTSC is the number 3, Esa Chan. Sidou Sane is leading the line. GRTS started the game with Lamin Sow in goal and still maintaining that starting 11. Lamin Sow is still in goal. Mohamed Dumbuya, Ismaila Cisse, Mod Lamin Sane, Laurent Gomez, Aliou Jammeh, Jen Dong, Yusufa Job, Amadou Kante, Talibo Jiba, team captain, and Sidou Sane completing the 11. And already we're having the substitute bench of Kepsien Boob, Famara Baji, Mustafa Diba, and Ali Bayo. But Famara is nowhere to be found. Anyway, GTSC now launch another opportunity back heel. That would have been an incredible goal That would have been a spectacular goal coming from GTSC. Of course, it's an incredible back heel coming from Sambu Toure. And Sambu Toure's back heel never troubled the goalkeeper. And currently the goalkeeper for GRTS is currently down.
Let them come.
It's going to be substitutions. We have to confirm. It's a substitution. Captain Boob. Oh, all the players are coming in. We're going to have Captain Boob, Mustafa Diba and Ali Bayo. If our match form is something to go by. Because we were made to understand Farmer Abaji is on the match form but nowhere to be found. Well, anyway, after this fixture we will have Gambia Maritime's administration taking on UN Gambia in the second fixture of the Nisa Championship. Of course, Nisa is National Interdepartmental Sports Association. At the commentary cabin is Parliament Party. Saliu Jallo has gone for some other errands. So anyway, Osman Kamara is behind camera operations for LSTV1, and the game is also live for the first time on LSTV on both Facebook and YouTube. Of course, it's the Nisa Championship. The opening game of the Nisa Championship. Substitutions is going to be a triple substitution for GRTS, who trail by a goal to nil against GTSC. GTSC 1, GRTS nil. GTSC it's a substitution, triple substitution for GRTS. GTSC 1, GRTS nil. And it's a triple substitution, or it's going to be a triple substitution for GRTS, and already there's a player substituted. Timely clearance from GTSC. Trying to control that ball once again around the center circle. It is the boys in white and yellow. GTSC spreads that ball wide on the far side. Caught out by Mohamed Lamin for GRTS. Mohamed Lamin Sane, GRTS on a defensive work, dropping that ball deep. Spreads that ball wide. Sidou Sane to chase. Sidou is currently having it tough on the left side of the attack. For the nation's broadcaster GRTS, and the team trail by a goal to nil. And that's the second substitution for GRTS, and the player in question is Mustafa Diba, and earlier on we had Kepsin Boob. Kepsin Boob introduced in the second half for GRTS, and Mustafa Diba. Anyway, Farmer Abaji is on the bench. Is the ball already out? The ball is already out as signaled by the assistant referee. It's a throw in GRTS. It's a throw in. Quickly taken. GTSC spreads it wide on the far side to the goal scorer. And the author of the only goal scored in this contest is Ibrahim Konta. Konta, number 10, broke the deadlock, and his goal is the current difference between GTSC and GRTS in the first game of the Nisa Championship. Is that going to be a foul? Of course, given by the central referee. The referee is Lamin Balo. Lamin Samate is the first assistant. Sana Koli is the second assistant, and fourth assistant referee is Landing Sambo. Of course, from the MRC football field in Bakau, and the game is also live on LSTV at the commentary cabin, Parliament Party. Earlier on, Saliu Jallo, who has already left the football field for some other engagements. But before that, we will surely engage our uncle once again in the second half. But before his engagement, we will surely have the total focus on the set piece coming from GTSC once again. Floats that, timely clearance from GRTS. GRTS nil. GTSC 1, GTSC guarding that ball on the far side. Player wrestled and rewarded by the central referee, and the referee has already given the signal that it should be a throw-in on the far side. It's a throw-in. GTSC dressed in their colorful yellow and white shirts, yellow shorts and yellow socks, while GRTS in their famous and colorful white and red colors. White shirts, red shorts and red socks. And GRTS is under the guidance of head coach Ben Bass and Ben is having the assistance of Musa Sane. And whilst on the other dugout for GTSC is Ibrahim Assar as head coach. And assistants are Lamin Sane, Lamin Barrow, Musa Jame and Sidhu York. From the MRC football field and also live on LSTV1, Parliament Party. Behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Uncle, welcome to the football field once again. Of course, it is now the second period after having the entire fourth period between GTSC and GRTS. And of course, it's a deserved advantage to GTSC, who are definitely having a great game against GRTS. Also another lively second half, and then the few minutes played into the second period, we have seen glimpses of goal scoring opportunities. This time around, very close again, coming from GTSC, but unfortunately GRTS survived once again. Of course, it is the second half now, still 1-0 advantage GTSC, but definitely we are very much impressed with the level of organization and also the level of talent that we have already seen in this working class of GRTS and GTSC.
Thank you very much. As you rightly said, playing progress. Nisa is here to organize such a very nice and clean tournament. As you can see, we are now in the second half, and yet still GTSC is still pressing. But I am so impressed with the changes that GRTS has already done. Right now, Nisa is calling on all institutions that are yet to come, and all the institutions that are supposed to still pay their registration fee to come in, because we cannot go without the registration fees. The registration fees are the fees that we are using to take care of the grounds, referees, match commissioners, and then you name them. So we are calling on all the institutions that are yet to come further. Let them not keep on saying last minute. It doesn't tell well. Let them come, at least sponsor the tournament. People like tourism board, GT board, and MRC, and anybody who wants to come in to at least sponsor the tournament. Everybody is called. We're also calling the government, the Minister of Youth and Sports, to come in and then, help to do something. At least we are not doing it for Nisa or for the technical director, myself, or anybody. We are doing it for the Gambia, to bring in all workers that are not, involved in other sports like international or national to come in. So please, we are calling on everybody at least to come and at least help and sponsor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Of course, our very own uncle, who is currently with us at the MRC football field, where GRTS is currently taking on GTSC in the opening game of this year's Nisa Championship. Of course, it is the 24th edition. 24 strong years, 24 solid years in the Nisa competition. Of course, we have to give that very big tap on the shoulder of the organizing committee of the Nisa Championship. And Nisa isn't only limiting themselves to only football, but also have athletics, and we believe you also have other sporting disciplines as well.
Thank you very much. You remind me of saying such. We have 6-a-side every sports. We have volleyball. We have handball this year. Volleyball, handball, 6-a-side every sports, and then 11-a-side football. These are all disciplines that we inculcate this year to make sure that instead of only national interdepartmental football, but national interdepartmental sports association, we have to bring in all sports together to at least make it colorful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Not only limiting themselves to football or athletics, but they also have a lot of other sporting disciplines for this working class. Of course, it is a lively contest. GRTS up against GTSC. GTSC won, GRTS won in the first fixture. And up next, Gambia Maritime Association will take on UN Gambia in the second fixture. All coming to you live from the MRC football field in Bakau, and it is lively. It's definitely lively. GRTS trailed by a goal to nil, dressed in their colorful and famous white and red colors, while GTSC dressed in their colorful white and yellow shirts and yellow socks. And GTSC, under the guidance of head coach Ibrahim Assar and his technical team, are currently having the advantage, leading by a goal to nil against GRTS, who are hoping to restore parity, or else they will surrender the point and surrender the 4 points to GTSC, who currently lead by a goal goal to nil on the far side. It's another opportunity. GTSC spreads that ball further around the 18-yard, and this time into the gloves of the goalkeeper. That was probably going to get the goalkeeper unaware. Mohamed Lamin Sane's clearance. Is that going to be a foul? Of course, that's a knock on the face of the central defender on number 3 for GTSC, who is currently down. And Mohamed Dumbuya, Esa Jan for GTSC is currently down. Esa Jan is one of the central defenders for GTSC. He's down, back on his feet. GTSC leading by a goal to nil against GRTS. It's a delivery for GTSC, and the boys in white and yellow enjoying the advantage around the area. GRTS, is that going to be an opportunity for GTSC? GRTS currently struggling. GRTS lost possession, spreads it wide. GTSC once again around the 18, this time into the gloves of the custodian once again. It has been a high pressing contest, a high battling contest with a lot of ambition coming from GTSC and GRTS, and of course coming to you live from the MRC football field. And it is the MRC football field that is currently hosting. As alluded to by the organizing committee or members of the organizing committee, they said they have had series. They have had series of challenges in getting a football field, and this time around they got the approval of the MRC football field in Bakau, and we believe this is going to be the venue for this year's Nisa championship. And it is currently GTSC 1, GRTS 0. GTSC against GRTS. GTSC getting that further around the area. GRTS or GTSC once again spreads that ball on the far side. There's a player down injured for GRTS. Sidhu Sane is struggling against his opponent on the far side. GTSC, who are currently enjoying the 1-0 advantage against GRTS. GRTS dressed in red and white, while GTSC in white and yellow. Great possessive display coming from GTSC once again, and then strikes comes in. And this time never troubled the custodian. It's a lively contest, of course. It's a lively contest from the Bakau Mini Stadium. Of course, the MRC football field in Bakau, and it's lively between MRC, or GRTS rather, and GTSC. GTSC trying to unlock the defense of GRTS once again. Spreads that ball on the far side, and the flag of the assistant referee is up against GTSC once again, and GTSC penalized once again by the flag of the assistant referee, using the left side in trying to penetrate the solid defense of GRTS. And GRTS is still in this contest, starting with Lamin Sow in goal, Mohamed Dumbuya, Ismaila Cisse, Mod Lamin Sane, Laurent Gomez, Aliou Jame, Jen Dong, Yusufa Job, Amadou Kante, Talibo Jiba as team captain, and Sidhu Sane are the starting 11 for GRTS. And in the second period, we have seen the emergence of Kepsin Boob and of course Mustafa Diba, who were introduced in the second half by the nation's broadcaster. GRTS into the gloves of the custodian on the far side. There is already a player down injured for GTSC, and time is definitely not on the side of GRTS, who definitely needs to score to bring this game to parity, or else they will surrender the maximum points to GTSC. GTSC leading by a goal to nil. Got their noses in the first period, courtesy of number 10 Ibrahima Konta, and Ibrahima's goal is the current difference. And it's of course a lively and a great atmosphere from the MRC football field in Bakau. MRC football field in Bakau in the CS Nisa Championship. Of course, it's the opening game of the Nisa Championship. It's the opening game between GRTS and GTSC. Sidhu Sane strikes from distance, trying to test the goalkeeper from distance, but his effort sailed over the crossbar. Goal kick GTSC, and GTSC will now rely on their custodian, who wouldn't be in any hurry. Babu Carlo is the goalkeeper. Spreads it short to the central defender Esa Jan. Esa trying to connect to the left back, who tries to control, but unfortunately lost in the process. It's going to be retaken. That will definitely be retaken. Or is that going to be a foul throw? That's a foul throw. That's a foul throw as waved by the assistant referee. And it has been a lively contest, great atmosphere from the MRC football field. That's another foul throw. Another foul throw. GRTS will now benefit. And GRTS will now rely, and of course rely on the right back Laurent Gomez. Laurent with a long one to the half of GTSC, never trouble the defenders, and also the goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper will solely allow that ball to roll out. Not in any pressure. They will definitely want to use the opportunity to wind down the clock. If they can't get more goals, at least a goal will definitely do. A goal will be enough to seal the maximum points for GTSC. GTSC currently leading by a goal to nil. Special thanks to the organizer of the Nisa Championship. Of course, the Nisa football competition, not only the football competition, but also getting into other sporting disciplines. On the far side, it is GTSC. Dembo Manjang spreads it wide. Ball being played short. GRTS regain possession. Nightly interception. On the far side is going to be an opportunity. The author of the only goal scored, trying to dribble past his marker, and the flag is already up. And up against GTSC, and GTSC will surely, or GRTS now will have the opportunity to benefit from a goal kick. GRTS desperately in need of an equalizer, hoping to secure a point against GTSC. Will they be able to do it? Of course, is the biggest ambition, but also the biggest question. GRTS trailed by a goal to nil. 1-0 is the current score from the MRC football field in Bakau, and also live on LSTV1 Parliament Fatih at the commentary cabin. Earlier on Saliu Jallo, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Ball being played short. GTSC spreads it forward, looking for options. Strikes from distance, and this time another opportunity. GRTS struggling to clear their line. Another opportunity. Is that going to be a foul? Play on, says the central referee. There is already a player down for GTSC. Around the 18-yard of GRTS. GTSC trying to keep that ball in play, and the flag of the assistant referee stayed down. GRTS to start the play from their own half. The team captain for GRTS urging his players to step up. There is already a player down, and the player is still down injured. Still protesting against the decision of the central referee, but the central referee isn't the least interested. The player in question for GTSC is currently back on his feet. Sambu Ture is the player, number 2 on his back on his feet. Protested against the decision, but the central referee waved in for a play on instead of awarding a penalty to GTSC. GRTS will benefit. Launch that ball forward. GRTS still in their own half. Trying to dribble past his marker. Lost possession. Can GTSC get the second goal here? This is another opportunity. GTSC. Is that going to be an opportunity? What is going to be? I think the player lost it. That would have been the second goal. And of course, the second goal for the very player, Ibrahim Konta. Ibrahim Konta had all the opportunities, dribbled past the goalkeeper, but his cutter was definitely very strong, of course, failing to keep that ball in play on the far side. GRTS survived once again. Uncle, of course, time is definitely running out. And running out for GRTS, who trailed by a goal to nil. And if GTS is able to hold on, it's going to be massive 3 points in their backs in the first and enticing game between them and GRTS.
Thank you very much, Fatih. As you rightly said, the game is on. And then definitely right now, GRTS, I think their changes has paid dividend here. They are coming. It's different from the first 35 minutes that they played. this second 35 they are struggling at least to equalize the game, but yet still GTSC are still having golden opportunities which they need to capitalize and then at least take the whole game. But nonetheless, it's football, as they rightly said. As far as the last whistle has not yet gone, you still have the hope to equalize or to add more. So far so good. Is still 1-0 in favor of GTSC, and then GRTS are still struggling to make sure that at least they equalize and then have something to go with. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Of course, lively scenes. Of course, lively and great morning in Bakau. It is at the MRC football field. Lively and great game between GRTS and GTSC. GRTS 0, GTSC 1 in the first fixture. Of course, the nation's broadcaster. Of course, GRTS trailed by a goal to 0 against GTSC. Of course, the nation's transport service providers. It is an opportunity. Clearance from GTSC, caught out by GRTS. GRTS trying to unlock the defense of their opponent. Is that going to be a foul given by the central referee? Of course, it's an opportunity for GRTS to get something from this set piece. Who is going to deliver? We have to wait. It has been a lively contest. Any moment from now, we're going to see the emergence and introduction of two fresh legs.
Should be here.
Two fresh legs coming from GTSC.
Changes, huh? This is out. In. Okay, sorry. Let me go.
Any moment from now, we're going to see. We're going to the emergence of two fresh legs for GTSC. Sailed over the crossbar. That was a great delivery coming from Ali Bayo, who came on as a substitute for GRTS. GTSC any moment from now will introduce two fresh legs. The nation's transport providers, GTSC having their broadcaster GRTS. GRTS 0, GTSC 1. It's another opportunity GTSC. Dribble pass 1, looking for more. The flag of the assistant referee is already up. And he's already up and up against GTSC, and any moment from now, we're going to see the emergence of two fresh legs. Two fresh legs to be introduced. And of course, we are currently having a substitution coming from GTSC. We will surely confirm their names shortly. GTSC will introduce double substitution. Double substitution. Of course, we have seen the introduction of Yaya Jaju and Maibu Sane for GTSA, and already we have seen the substitution or the withdrawal of Sambuture and Dembo Manjang for GTSA, and it's already a lively game. Great second half between these two sides. It's another opportunity to number 10 around the area. Can he get the second goal? And this time it's going to be the second goal, and already the flag of the assistant referee stayed down. And that is the second goal, and it is the second goal for GTSA. And the player is currently down. We have to confirm the number first. It is the number 8 for GTSC, and GTSC got the second goal against GRTS. Of course, it is 2-0, and it is 2-0 in favor of GTSC. GTSC 2, GRTS 0. That was indeed a great run.
This is a biggest mistake that they always do.
I think we have to get those confirmations, because the player in question, the player that scored the second goal, we are struggling to see the number on the match form. We will confirm the name of the player shortly. and get it to you. But currently GRTS trail by 2-0 against GTSC.
It's Boubacar Touré. Sorry.
Sidou Sane. The flag of the assistant referee stayed down. Boubacar Touré is the player. Boubacar Touré scored the second goal for GTSC to get the second goal, and of course it is currently 2-0 in favor of GTSC. The first goal scored by Ibrahim Akonta, and of course in the build-up to the second game, Ibrahim Akonta of course had an incredible run before spreading that ball wide on the path of the advancing player Boubacar Touré, and Boubacar Touré poke home. Boubacar Touré poke home to give the second goal to GTSC against GRTS at the MRC football field, and of course it's a lively game, lively contest, great morning. Of course it's a sunny morning in Bakau in the first an opening game between GRTS and GTS, the nation's broadcaster against the nation's transportation service providers. And the player who scored the second goal is already substituted in the build-up to the second goal. I think he crashed on the cross on the other side of the football field, or on the other side of the pitch. I think he's still having some discomfort before being substituted. And it is already lively, great a morning in Bakau in the game between GRTS and GTSC. GTSC 2, GRTS 1. This is GRTS now. Spreads that ball on the far side. Can they pull one back from this? Strikes comes in, block in there, and the player is currently down. That seems to be painful. The player is currently down for GTSC. And one of the players for GTSC is currently down. Suleiman Manga is the player after having that strike of the ball on the far side. Lively contest, great a morning. Of course, in the first game between GRTS, and the second game will feature a clash between Gambia Maritime and Gambia Maritime Administration against UN Gambia. On both sides, we believe both sides are already here, as we believe Gambia Maritime's Administration have already started the warming up. It's another delivery. Eludes every other player. GRTS failed to capitalize. Sidou Sane is still holding his head. He could not just believe that anyway. It is GRTS 0, GTSC 2. GTSC broke the deadlock in the first half, courtesy of number 10, Ibrahim Akonta, before Boubacar Touré getting the second goal for GTSC. And it is GTSC 2, GRTS 0. And it is the National Interdepartmental Sports Association's Football Championship, the 24th edition. And it's match day 1 between GRTS and GTSC. Coming to you live from the MRC football field, live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin, Parliament Fati. Earlier on, Saliu Jalo, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Has been a lively game. Great morning, great atmosphere in Bakau between GRTS and GTSC. Great back heel, trying to connect the run of the player on the far side who fails to control, and GRTS will benefit from that. And of course, in case you just joining us, it is still coming to you live from the MRC football field in Bakau in the Nisa Football Championship, match day 1 between GRTS and GTSC. It's 2 minutes of additional time. 2 minutes of additional time, as we have already exhausted the entire minutes of normal time. GRTS to deliver that corner. GRTS, spread start! That was going to be an incredible goal, of course. GRTS will use the opportunity to pull one back. Unfortunately lost it. Mohamed Doumbouya with a glancing header, of course, that was going to get the goalkeeper unaware. And that's going to give them the second opportunity to deliver from that corner. Another opportunity. Crash on the crossbar.
This could have been a goal.
Of course, the boy is definitely a specialist. Of course, the player in question came on as a substitute. And of course, he's the number 3, Mustafa Diba. If we may get it right. Of course, on the match form. Timely interception and clearance coming from GTSC, and time is definitely not on the side of GRTS. They need to score. Not only to score, they need to score twice if they want to pick a point here, or else they will surrender the maximum points to GTSC. Currently, GRTS having a player down, and probably this will surely give the opportunity to GTSC to wind down the clock. Uncle, into the final moments, into the very final moments of this crucial and lively game between GRTS and GTSC. Advantage GTSC scored in the first half, their first goal, and in the second half, we have also seen getting the second goal and currently having the 2-0 advantage against GRTS, who need to score in the very final minutes, not only to score, but they need to score twice if they want to pick a point.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately for GRTS, you have only 2 minutes added on the second half. But nonetheless, they are still struggling because they have at least this number 3, who is a specialist in corner kicks, have missed very, very good corner kicks here, which definitely could have been a very good goal. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't make it. But as the saying goes, it's football. As far as the last whistle has not yet gone, there is still hope for them. But my fear is to score 2 goals within this short time, and the goalkeeper is still on the ground, receiving treatment from the physio. Nonetheless, I've seen him getting up. The RTS is pressurizing them to, telling them that you just want to waste the time. The goalkeeper is back on his feet, and then the referee has given the green light for the GRTS player to throw. It's throw in for GRTS for the meantime. Playing progress, the ball is coming. Unfortunately for them, they are just waiting for the last minute, or the last whistle. They are just waiting for the last whistle. There is it, or there it goes. The match have ended 2-0 in favor of GTSC.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Of course, this is where we're definitely going to draw the curtain, and it is all over, and it is all over in Bakau. Of course, at the MRC football field in the first game between GRTS and GTSC. And GTSC defeated GRTS by 2-0, and the first goal coming from centre forward Ibrahim Akonta before Boubacar Toure getting the second goal in the second period to get the 2-0 advantage. Of course, the 2-0 advantage to GTSC against GRTS. And it is all over. Full time GTSC to GRTS 0, and it has been Parliament Fatih at the commentary cabin, earlier on Saliu Jallo, and behind camera operations for LSTV is Osman Kamara. And the central referee, of course, of this game is Lamin Balo, who was having the assistance of Lamin Samate, Lamin Koli and Landing Sambo. Of course, this is where we're going to draw the curtain and say bye-bye from the MRC football field till we come your way again.
I think it's better you communicate with them. It's better
No, Sira and Uncle Sol.
They are so used to
very
it.
fair. They are not fair to you people.
And this is every year.
Yes.
This is every year. They always humiliate.
No,
They
this
don't,
is
we
why-
don't get the information early.
No.
And then we don't even know what is happening at this time.
I told him. It's not fair. So that's why I said let me take his number.
The problem is, we don't know how to
Thank you very much, and of course we're still coming to you live from the MRC football field in Bakau, and it has just ended here. GRTS nil, GTSC 2. Of course, we on our mic we have the head coach of GRTS, Ben Bass. After the defeat, Ben, of course, it has been a very tough game for GRTS, and you lost to GTSC by 2-0. First, tell us your reaction after being defeated by GTSC.
Thank you very much, Pa Fati. Looking at the game, coming in the build-up to the game, it was like late preparation. We were informed barely 72 hours prior to today's game, and definitely it affected our preparation towards the Nisa. And like you see, after the starting 11, we only had 2 other substitutes, so definitely it affected our game plan coming into the game, and we were able to contain GTSC until after around 25 minutes when we conceded the first goal from a defensive calamity. And we thought in the second half, when the win will be on our side, we thought to avert the situation, but rather unfortunate, we conceded another late goal in the dying minutes, and definitely it dented our hopes of mounting a comeback.
Should we say GRTS lacked the enough preparation before coming to this game, which resulted to this heavy defeat in the hands of GTSC?
Exactly, I will agree with you that the late preparation played a crucial role in today's lose, but I'll disagree with you if you'll say it is a heavy defeat, 2-0, because factoring in the last 5 minutes or so, we had chances to mount a comeback, possibly restore parity, but it was rather unfortunate. We did not take our chances and we lost 2-0.
Ben, looking at the substitution, I think your substitution paid dividend. Of course, could we say you had better players on the pitch than better players on the bench than the players that you started with?
Exactly, I'll agree with you, because looking at the substitutes, they made a huge impact. Since they came into the fray, you could see the impact they had on the team.
And looking at your subsequent games, of course, this is the first game you got defeated. What are you looking forward to in the subsequent or second game?
A common Gambian terminology, we'll go back to the drawing board and put our house in order, train more, adjust. Then our next opponents, this will serve as a stern warning to our next opponent that we are coming with full force.
Should we expect a better GRTS team in the second game than we have seen in this first period?
It's a promise. GRTS will be coming stronger in our subsequent games.
Hard luck, coach, and then wishing you all the best in your subsequent games.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That is Ben Bass after his side being defeated by GTSC, of course. Thank you very much. And then earlier on we were talking to Ben Bass after his side being defeated by GTSC, and now on our mic is the assistant head coach for GTSC. Coach, congratulations. First, tell us your reactions.
Thank you very much. We are really happy having collected the 3 points, which is the most important thing, and now we look forward to the next game.
Looking at the GTSC side, when we came here in the morning, it was as early as 8 or 9 a.m. that we saw this GTSC side having their preparation. At some point we thought the players were going to lose their energy. At some point one of my colleagues was telling me, why can't you ask these people to lower down their play at this right moment, because they also have 35, 70 or 70 minutes to play here. What is the motive behind the success of this GTSC coming into this game?
Well, like I said initially, the preparation is not just yesterday. We were well prepared since the very first day that we received the invitation to participate in Nisa tournament. From that very day up to date, we are constantly on training, and then we train 5 days a week, non-stop. So you could see the fitness from the boys. That is why we came as early as the scheduled time was 9 o'clock. So we tried to be here as early as 8 o'clock. So since then we came, the boys were trying to show the level of their fitness that I believe scared our opponents.
And looking at the team, I think the team should have scored more than 2 goals, and looking at most of the chances being crafted, are you a bit disappointed with the scoreline?
Yeah, a bit disappointed, because we're yearning to get at least as much goals as possible. But then we take this as the start, and then we build up from it, and then myself and my coaching team would like to work on some of the observations that we had during the game, and then on our next game we will want to correct those errors to avoid chances that were missed, and we could have scored more goals and then have a better goal difference in our pool.
And during the game, we had seen some protests coming from the technical bench. At some point, you thought the central referee denied you a clear goal scoring opportunity. And at some point, what was definitely in your mind right at that moment?
Yeah, emotions were wild, and then which is part of the game. We thought that we scored our second goal in the first half, but then, you know, officials are the one that would decide. So they said it was in the goal. Boys, you could see, you know, intensity was high. But then we take it up, we see that there was more to play, more to go for, and then in the second half we were able to do more and then eventually score another goal.
What should we expect from this GTSC side in the subsequent games of this year's Nisa Championship?
Well, we are telling our opponents, last year we were knocked out from the round of 8, I want to believe. So this year we're yearning for the trophy. So whoever is on our way, be expecting to be crossed.
Thank you very much, Assistant Coach. Congratulations, and then wishing you all the best of luck in this year's Nisa Championship.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That is the Assistant Coach for GTSC, and this is of course where we're going to coach as far as the game between GRTS and GTS is concerned. Special thanks to the organizing committee of the Nisa Football Championship. Of course, it is the 24th edition, and then we have to give that very big tap on the shoulders of the organizing committee for constantly organizing not only football but other sport disciplines for the working class of this country. On that note, this is where we to have it, of course, on the live and also on the interview. It has been Parliament Fati earlier on, Salih Chalo behind the commentary, and Usman Kamara behind camera operations. Then, bye bye.